I had to take a shit and there was no toilet paper. Like, what the fuck is happening? So I had to use my underwear. What's good? What's Gucci? What is poppin'? Hello guys, it is me, Rachel Geronimo, your go-to travel buddy for simple travel tips, tricks, and adventures. So this is the time that I got stuck on a Malaysian island for 3 days. Let's start off with the story of how my trip to Malaysia. It was an interesting ride, guys, and I have to try Malaysia again. I was solo traveling at the time, so I was probably 24. This is when I knew everything was going to go downhill. I forgot my travel adapter when I left Indonesia, so I went to one of those marketplaces in Kuala Lumpur and bought myself an adapter, which was like 50 cents, right? I totally bargained it for 25 cents. Unreasonable, but I just love bargaining. I woke up the next day needing to charge my phone. I plugged that thing in and it blew up my phone. Pfft. Okay, well this is weird because I have a flight to catch in 2 hours. I don't have a watch. I don't have my phone. The hostel that I stayed at didn't have a watch either. So it's like, what is happening? Now, with no phone, I know that I sound like a millennial when I say this, but with no phone, it's a bit of a hassle because one thing, I'm a solo traveler. Two, I'm not traveling with anyone, so I can't depend on anybody about the time or where things are. I just packed my bags, head to the airport, hoping for the best. I'm asking strangers at this point, what time is it? Asking for directions. I finally got to the airport and I realized I lost my portable charger. Not that it matters because I don't have a phone, but like, that's an expensive portable charger. Finally got on the plane just in time. Then I landed in the Perhentian Islands, or like one of the islands before. I landed somewhere, and the first thing I did when I got out of the airport was go to the mall so I can find myself a phone. Nobody understood that I wanted a phone and what was happening, so I just bought a random phone. Then when I finally got out of the mall, I'm trying to find ways to get to this damn island. So I took this random Grab. It's like an Uber. I head to one of these villages. I was about an hour out from the village and I was like kind of getting concerned because I was like, I've been driving in this Uber for an hour now and I have really no idea where I'm going. Everything looks a little bit secluded. I'm starting to get worried now because I've been in the car with this dude for so long and I'm just like freaking out. I'm scared, I'm young, and I'm alone. When I finally reached this village, I'm asking people around like, where can I go to the Perhentian Islands? People were just pointing things. There was a little bit more of a language barrier. I finally get on this boat and it's a nice boat, it's great, and there's just a couple people on it. Then I finally get to the islands. Like, there were barely any accommodations that were suited for me. I'm the kind of person that gets my accommodation the day of, so I had no plans or no intentions of, I travel spontaneously. I have no idea what's gonna happen in the next 5 minutes. I find the scuba diving accommodation, and I guess I was gonna be a scuba diver that day, and they provide free accommodations. I was like, well, why not? So all I had to pay is for this scuba diving shit. This was probably one of the worst hostels I've ever stayed at. That place stunk. It smelled so bad. I don't think it even was sanitary, and I was just uncomfortable. It just was not my thing. I was hot, I was sweaty, the bathrooms sucked. I had to take a shit and there was no toilet paper. Like, what the fuck is happening? So I had to use my underwear. It's just ridiculous. At this point, I'm just like, wow, Malaysia is not doing me well at all. I was not having a good time. I spent money on this freaking scuba diving shit. I've already paid for it, but the accommodation was so bad. I was like, I don't even care that I paid for this scuba diving shit. I just need to stay somewhere else. I made up some shit like, oh, I'm under budget, so I got my money back. Now I look for another accommodation. I find this hotel which doesn't have Wi-Fi. This island doesn't have Wi-Fi, which sucks too. I'm asking if they have dorms available, and they're like, no, we don't have dorms available. I was like, well, I need a place to stay. Well, we have this room. He gives me the most expensive room, and I'm just like, I need something a little bit more budget friendly than that. He's like, that's all we have. Come to find out that I met this girl at this bar who's staying at the same place that I am, and she has a whole dorm room by herself, 8 beds. And I'm like, Kirsteny, why are you saying that there are no dorms when there are clearly dorms available? And that guy stiffed me. I was so irritated. I'm at this point where I was just like, all right, well, I'm over this. I'd rather spend my time at Kuala Lumpur. I go back the next day to see if I get on a boat. And they told me that there was a boat that is not available for the next 3 days. So I basically was stuck on this damn fucking island for 3 days. And I was just so irritated. The place was so boring. And I think I think I came the wrong time of the wrong year. I came like on a weekday. I guess it's more popping on the weekend. But I got stuck in this island and it was raining all the time. That shit sucked too. And there was no Wi-Fi on this island. And I know I keep talking about like what's so important about Wi-Fi. I had no contact with my friends or family like for about 2 or 3 days. So everyone was just wondering where the fuck I was. I think the only positive thing that I really enjoyed about Malaysia so far was I swam with sea turtles and some sharks, which was cool. But I wanted to get off this damn island. Perhentian Islands, I swear. That's my story. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'm gonna catch you guys later and deuce.